Hello, this is June 26th, and today I've come to a realization. And I'll share that with you in a moment. I wrote something. See, I wrote something here that I wanted to record, and it's just been like so frustrating because like I changed some of my setup, and like I got my lights here. So you see this over here. It's like nice and bright. Ooh. And all of this, and just trying to set it up because I was like, oh, I could kill. Oh, what a wonderful metaphor! Kill two birds with one stone. I thought I could do multiple things at once, which was basically record. I was hoping to record this log together and then record a piece of it, like recording. I was playing with a teleprompter, and of course, I'm doing this all on like a small span of time, just because like I suddenly got the inspiration or like the feeling of doing it. And one of the things that spurred that on was the idea of like stepping into, what was it? Like, I guess kind of like trying to find my own voice, or it was the social media, of course, right? Like there was an Instagram post talking about like projector energies, and there was like a thing just talking about recognition, talking about how like two things that really struck me, and I'm going to read it out to you. And I'm going to read it out to you so that when I watch this back, then I can remember what it was. It was for the projector. Instead of asking, why isn't anyone recognize me? The question is, why am I still seeking validation instead of trusting my vision? So kind of like reflecting on, oh, I've been cleaning up as well. I just noticed that there's like a bunch of junk in the back. So pretend you didn't see that. But where am I still seeking validation instead of trusting my vision? And I was reflecting on that, and it's like, okay, like I have this vision. I know that what it is. And just reflecting on it, it's like the value of the vision is not based on the recognition. The recognition is like the outcome of sharing the vision. If I can share my vision with you and it resonates with you, then you hopefully will recognize it and come and chill with me, right? But it doesn't change the value of my vision. I've seen this in a number of different places that I've worked in. So whether it's in I guess the pharmacy world, and then now in the business world, the ways that I've thought that things should be run, sometimes it's like following that intuition for me, especially with the splenic authority, following that intuition of like, this feels like the right thing to do. I'm going to just go ahead and do it. And then it ends up working out. So it's like almost like not looking for the recognition or confirmation that yes, it's going to work before getting started. That's one thing. And then the other piece of this post that I really was reflecting on that really hit home was why don't they see my value? And it's kind of like a question that I've asked myself or thought, like not in so many ways, like not in some kind of emo way where I'm like, oh, like nobody's recognizing me and whatever. It's like I've accepted that I'm not meant to be seen by the mass majority of people necessarily right off the bat, or I'm being seen in a way that is not immediately transparent to me. And this kind of comes up from time to time because it's like I'll have like things that happen, or I'll have interactions with people, and then later on, like sometimes much later on, I'll find out just that, like how impactful that was, and that really lights me up. But the time between it is kind of like interesting. And I guess it's like the insights or the things that the information that I share is not intended to give you like an easy next step and then just have you feel like, oh yeah, like everything's great. And then like 2 weeks later, you kind of like slip back and fall back into whatever old patterns you were. Like for me, it's like what I see in you is I see you, your true essence, your core essence, your heart, and I can feel that, and I can see how wonderful and amazing and great you are as an individual. And I'll put that in front of you, especially when you don't put it, like when you don't acknowledge it for yourself. So why don't they see my value? The other side of it was like, it was one of those human design posts, which I really love. Oh, I really should get the name of this person. I'll put it in the comments so I can give the proper recognition. I believe, you know what, I'm going to look it up because recognition is very important. Projector things, you know? They are human design certification on Instagram. I believe it's at human design certification. So the other side of it was to ask, where am I not fully seeing my own brilliance yet? And I guess I'm kind of like reflecting on this. And for me, it's like, I'm just living my experience. I'm like, everything is like copacetic. Whatever I do, it's just the things that I do. But if I were to like kind of take stock of like actually all the things that I'm kind of doing is like, I guess it's a lot. And I have to like kind of put it in front of other people to get that insight sometimes. I actually asked a friend of mine if it actually is a lot, because what are some of the things that I've done? So in addition to working on this project here, I've been recording daily logs, and that's just kind of the tail end of the outcome. What I've been working on is really like a system, an ecosystem, a new paradigm of leadership, of authorship, a new way of moving through the world that is completely aligned with you. Looking at taking as much data and information that I can through quantum mechanics, ancient mysticism, and all sorts of other things, like, so hypnosis, of course, human design, of course, touching on like, what is alchemy? Where does trauma come from? And then questioning the systemic power that kind of like hovers over all of our heads, you know? And then doing that while raising a family, maintaining a relationship, I guess running a pharmacy, completing an MBA. I guess it's a lot, but for me, it's just like one step after the other, one step after the other. And maybe that's something that I don't recognize in myself, and it's hard because like, it's just my reality, and I love it. I love it. I enjoy every moment of it. So then, like, these are kind of like some things that I've been recognizing and or like reflecting on today, and I just had this like message come through, and I'm going to deliver it to you right here, and I'll probably cut it out so that I can share this snippet somewhere else as well. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm just gonna read it. So I've come to the realization today that you might not understand this, that this is a journey that we'll walk together to discover something new. We're not going backwards. We're not working off the limits of yesterday. This is the reality of a new look of leadership. This is the new system of connection. New in the sense that it's not the norm. It's not new at all from the perspective that this type of thing already exists. There are people out there that are living this experience, trying to bring this new paradigm into being, and they're living it in a system that doesn't work for it, and they're being burnt to a crisp. There are people trying to live, work, and lead in this way, and it may be unnamed. It's also likely that the system is trying to train it out of you. More than likely, I'm sure. I know this to be true because I've seen it. I've seen the heart of people who are brushing up against a new paradigm. I've watched them talk themselves out of following their heart, walking to the beat of another person's drum because the loudest voice crowds out the noise that's in their head. It crowds out the signal that's in their head. The promise of comfort, success, and recognition by following the rules and playing their game. Haizhen is the quake of your core essence, the rumbling that refuses to settle. Your truth has been hidden from you beneath layers of expectations, shoulds, and have-tos, but it can be never taken away from you. I've spent decades to get to this one realization. I have always been enough. When I felt less than enough, it's because I was trying to be something that I'm not. I'm here in front of you to share with you the simple truth. You have always been enough too. Haizhen is the deep transformation that will bring you back home to yourself. If you're tired of searching for the right answer for you, you can rest assured. This is what you're looking for. Rediscover yourself. And like in my excitement to I wrote this, and this is all kind of like coming together. I'm a little bit excited today, but this came all together, and I just realized like I didn't put my mic on, so I don't know how the audio is. But you know what, like whatever, it doesn't matter, because this is it. Like the thing is, I think it's so easy. Like I was reflecting on this, and I know that I'm guilty of this as well, of like the last weekend at the MBA, as I had a class of almost 60 people. And for every single person that I look at, I see their strengths, the wonderful things about them, their passions, their drive, their dedication, and all of these things just filter out, combine actually together in different ways to represent each person in their genuine um, their genuine uniqueness, their wonder, their amazingness, just kind of all packaged there. And then in this same breath of like conversation, um, there are things that will come out where it's like you are talking to me and you clearly don't know how amazing you are. There are so many people like that in my cohort who are so amazing, and they're not drinking their own Kool-Aid. And I guess in a class of 60 high performing um, like leaders, that is amazing. It's really amazing to see so many people come together, and not be drinking their own Kool-Aid. Um, and I'm not saying you want to drink your own Kool-Aid to be successful, because that's a whole other thing. I think that what I mean to say is you're all awesome. I'll say that I'm guilty of that as well. One of the things that I often say is that I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody. Um, and I've had multiple people point this out to me, and I always make the kind of excuse to say that, like, I don't mean that I'm a nobody. Like, I know my worth. Um, and I believe that's true. I know my worth, but sometimes I don't feel it. And that kind of like embodiment part is that piece that's sometimes like outside, right? Like we can sit there and look at our achievements, look at a resume, look at all the things that we have on paper, and then still not feel whole, still not feel like, like we're anything. And should I stop saying that? I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't be telling me what I should be doing. I'm not getting aggressive, but like when I say I'm a nobody, I mean that it's true. I don't often get the recognition. People don't necessarily know who I am or know what I'm about. And I think that when I say that people don't know me, I think that it's from the perspective of that, like, can you ever truly know anyone? I understand the depth of my experience, and like this piece that I'm sharing out with you is only one slice of it. You don't need to know all of the other crap and all of the other junk that kind of lies within here. And at the same time, I know that it's there. So when I look out at other people, I remind myself of that. Like, this is a whole process of like, and probably one of the things that really helped with that was working in a retail environment. Um, I know that growing up, I always thought that I wanted to work at a like in retail, just as a job, right? Like, oh, I want to go get a job and make some money, and I never had that opportunity for various reasons. Um, and I ended up in retail anyways. I spent 11 years in a retail pharmacy setting, managing the pharmacy, and owning a pharmacy for many years. And that experience help put many people in front of me. And what I found that I took away from that, one of the things that I took away from that was being able to look out at other people and see past the thing that they present to me on the surface and understand that there's something deeper inside. So when I look out at everybody, I understand that there's all of those pieces as well. And I think that it's not a shame. because I think we all go through our own processes. We all go through our own journey to get to the point that we need to get to. And we'll find things along the way. And if you're here now, like listening to this, and if this message is resonating with you, then take that step. Like, move forward. I'm offering something here because I know that it's something that has worked for me, that has resonated with me, that I am living every single day. The idea of like human design being your energetic blueprint, the piece that shows you the way that you are meant to move through this world and to operate and to move through your energy. Hypnosis in the way that is used to, I guess, rewire, reconsider, or shift your perspectives, move past limiting beliefs, unlock the dream gate. I like that idea, and that's something I'm going to make it a thing. And when you open that up, and you can allow all of those like good things to go. Sorry, no, you want good things, don't you? If you can allow the bad things out, to accept that you've been holding on to them for so long, so that you can finally put them down, you can let go of them, and then make a whole new reality for you. And then, of course, like just layering on all the different pieces of ancient wisdom and modern science. That it's not to say that, hey, look, I have the evidence, I have this thing that says on paper that it's going to work for you. It's not about that. It's about taking the information and experiencing it in a way that only you can experience. Only you can experience it through like experience, which is to take the information, consider it, put it in front of you, do the work, feel into it, embody it, feel into your body, into the somatics of it. All of these pieces coming together. And that got me really excited today. So I've come on here to share that with you, to share this out in my like messy room. I spent half the day cleaning up, and I'm not fully there yet because we're looking. I would like to say that it's 18 months of mess, but honestly speaking, it's probably much more than that. So as we are all pulling up our socks and getting our lives together, will you come on this journey with me? Will you come with me? I'll be nice. I mean, like, what kind of promise is that? There's so many places into it. Like, I started from all sorts. And if you're, like, at the point that I'm guessing that you might be at, which is, like, probably graduated, worked a number of years, and then, have a job, probably in some kind of management or leadership position, you've probably tried to do some work. You've had executive coaches, maybe, if you're kind of in that space, or you've tried to do a lot of personal self-work as well. And I've been there. A lot of that stuff kind of like just, it was helpful in some ways, but then it was never like the full, like, it wasn't full send. It wasn't like taking me all the way. And over time, like, it came across like more and more pieces that would get me closer and closer. So then there's that stuff. Hypnosis was like a huge like wedge. I love the idea of wedges, like kind of like wedging in there and like opening things wide open. Opening things wide open. What a funny way to say it. So going into hypnosis and understanding how to change my perceptions, my feelings, my limiting beliefs, letting go of those things. And the really amazing thing about my training, shout out to Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy, Mike Mandel and Chris Thompson. The great thing about that was like within the first like hour, and I had never done hypnosis before, I was sitting there in a chair, experiencing a hypnotic trance, and then having like the partners that I'm working with help facilitate and move me through different blocks, like move me past those things. And I'm like, wow, like, why do I suddenly feel different about like this thing or that thing? Like this thing that I've been living with, that I've been holding on to for so long, it's like, oh, it's suddenly gone. So then it's like that power, that was like magic. And then finally coming across human design, like these are the three big kind of like key points, key like big milestones, I guess. I could like get nitty gritty if you wanted. And if you do want that, you let me know. And if any of my former students or any of my friends will probably know that I could talk for a long time about random things. I'll go into any detail that you want. But human design was that thing that was like, okay, like now I see a path forward for everybody. Because like this system gives you not a blueprint, not the blueprint, it gives you your blueprint. When I came across this information and I began to explore it more and more, I was like blown away. I was literally blown away. And I went so far as to get certified as a human design reader with Crystal Alfarero, previously of the Human Design Academy, now of Human Design Revolution. She's doing such amazing work. She's my business coach and mentor. And since we're doing shout outs today, like this video's got everything. This video got everything. Literally everything. I went and became a human design reader, and I began sharing this out. And at first, it was similar to like hypnosis. I'm like, how do I share out this thing, right? Like, how do I start talking to people in like my space, which was the health sciences space of hypnosis, and then now how do I talk to like people in not only the healthcare space, but like the business world, corporate kind of space about like this thing called human design, which like I'll tell you, it was like channeled by a Canadian guy in somewhere, I can't remember exactly, in the 70s, and it's a integration of human design. No, it is human design. It's an integration of astrology, the I Ching, Kabbalah, and the chakras, and it comes and gives you this blueprint. And how it came out, like, doesn't matter. If you actually like go back and like start listening about like philosophers like Thomas Edison or like inventors and scientists and all of this, you'll find that they had a lot of influence from like Eastern like religions and Eastern mysticism and ancient wisdom, those types of schools. And like that's kind of left out of the history books. We look at like Edison and he's like, he invented the light bulb. We look at Tesla and he did all of these things, but they were making like ghost radios and stuff like that to speak to spirits. And it's a convenient piece that's left out of history. It's kind of like, you know, the meaning that we put onto things is the meaning that we put onto things. It's just exactly like how that quote, that blood is thicker than water, is not the full quote. We often like listen to that or hear that quote and think about how it's meant to say that, like, you know, it's used, I think, in the context of like, you know, blood is thicker than water, so you have to love your family and like stick close to your family. And family is great. There's a whole bunch of like, there's a lot of wonderful things there. There's support. There's that built-in support system and community for those that are privileged enough and lucky enough to have access to that. And at the same time, the full quote is, the blood of the coven is thicker than the womb of the water of the womb. The blood of the coven is thicker than the water of the womb, which means like found family is where it's at. So with that, will you join my found family? I'm open. My arms are open to receive you, metaphorically, into the Haizhen Guild, which is where I'd love for all of us to hang out as we work towards finding ourselves, living in our fullest alignment, to present and be present in that way. So will you come with me? Start by getting your chart. I want to share this out with as many people as I can. So like, get your chart. I have information on the website. There's a link down below in the description. Get your chart, look at it, read the information. There's so much information online, on Instagram. You could go to YouTube. Crystal has so many great videos as well. I'll link that below as well. I'll link all of my favorite things. Today is a video about all of my favorite things today. And one of my favorite things is you, for being here at the very end of this video. If you've made it this far, then you are one of my favorites. Why did I wink? Anyways, yeah, come join me. Let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's change the world.